Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jaryt, and welcome back to another episode of Programming Java. This episode, we're going to be making Simon. I already started working on it yesterday, but I ended up getting interrupted in the recording, so I figured I might as well just go ahead and restart doing the entire thing. Besides, it was getting a bit lengthy for really the not so long video that this has to be. I mean, like, games like 2048 is going to be a little bit of a long video, but Simon is a really simple concept, and as long as we do this in an efficient manner, we'll be able to get through this pretty quick. So, hopefully you have some decent programming knowledge. I'm using Eclipse here, so if you don't know what Eclipse is, you may pick up a few techniques from this video, but hopefully you understand at least a little bit of programming, because with this video, I want to kind of make it a bit quick, but kind of be able to explain certain things, like if like kind of just programming concepts instead of really just game design concepts instead of just basic like how to program videos. But I will be starting a video or a series like that sometime soon. I don't know when. I just have to work out how I want to do the video or like all the videos. But for now, let's just go ahead and start making Simon. So create our new path or project. We're just going to name it Simon. I'll also create the package and name that Simon as well. And then right off the bat, we'll do the Simon class. So we have our default lines here. We want to put in our public static void main so that our computer knows what to execute. And then I also want to create the Simon object right off the bat, the static one, so I can access it from our renderer class that we'll create later. And we're going to initialize it right here, and then we're going to create the constructor. I can do that. I did that really fast by doing control space and then enter. It'll give you just like quick things, like if you typed main and then did control space enter, it would pop that up, but I chose to type it out. We also need our JFrame, so let's go ahead and do that. So create a new JFrame. Not a JFile chooser. I don't get that. There we go. We're gonna set this final width equals 800, height equals 800. All right. I think I'm gonna do like plus 15. Oh, I forgot to add int there. That was a bit newbie. And like, I think it's like actually plus 25, like plus 10. It's a bit off here. I should have it one of these guys. I think Pong. Plus 15, plus 35. So let's try that out. Because the frame around the edges, it kind of, didn't even set a visual. It kind of like has a bit of a offset or like overlaps a little bit. So you have to like make it a little bit bigger. We're also going to set the resizable. We're going to set that to false. Don't know how that S got there. And then we're going to also set the default close operation so that when we press the X button, it actually closes it instead of us having to terminate it from the console and it running in the background, which is really never a good thing. And then we also want to create a timer. So we do 20 this and then delete this, or we can just do Java X swing up here in the imports. And then we have to implement action listener. Oh. And then we're going to import that and add unimplemented methods into the class, and it's going to give us our action performed thing. If you don't know what this is an interface. That's why it allows us to use this little thing called implements. We can't extend it because this being an interface and this not being an interface, because this is a class, it's we have to implement it because that's what interfaces are for. They're mainly for like APIs and stuff, and technically Jaryt is in a way an API when you think about it, but that's not exactly true, but I'm just gonna say it is. In a way, I guess you could kind of think of it as one. It just depends the perspective you look at it from. But I'm gonna close out a Pong there. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and create our renderer class now. So let's do public renderer. We're just gonna initialize it right off the bat, even though it doesn't even exist yet. And we're also gonna add it to the JFrame. Okay, let's hover over this, do create class, and then bam. So we're gonna extend JPanel because, as you can see, we still have this error in here because this is not a instance of JComponent yet. So when we extend JPanel, which is an instance of JComponent, if we look into there, we have JComponent right there. It actually allows us to add it to the JFrame. The main reason we're doing this, though, is because I'm going to suppress this warning because it's really annoying. The reason we do this, though, is because if we do paint component, we can actually override this because this is kind of what we're going to use to, it's called a method called double buffering. Pretty much it renders the game twice, or just the frame twice, and it pretty much makes it more efficient to where it doesn't like have that flickery effect that it sometimes have when sometimes like ticks can be skipped depending on how many operations is being run at once. So let's go ahead and make sure that's all right, and then in Simon or in renderer we want to do simon.simon.repaint, or just paint, I guess, and then we're going to do G. I'm actually going to cast this to graphics 2D. I know that this is an instance of graphics. I'm also going to make sure that Simon is not equal to null, just in case. Sometimes it could be null and then it just crashes the program. So we need to import that. And then we're going to create the method and then take out that line right there. Alright, so this is where we're gonna paint everything, and this is where all of our ticks are actually gonna go. We also need to add renderer.repaint right here, so that like every time the game ticks, it'll repaint it after we do all of the code of the game, which is gonna be right here. So if we launch the game, we have just this black little canvas. It doesn't even have a title yet. We can easily add a title just by inputting a string right here and do Simon. And now we do. Okay, cool. It's not resizable, as you can see. And it looks about square. So let's go ahead and add our little Simon paddle in there. So I want to make sure it looks at least like a circle. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do g.setColor. Oh, wrong place. We need to do this in the paint. So we're going to do g.setColor and then color.gray. We need to import color. And then do g.fill or fill rect. We're going to do 0, 0, width, and then height. This gives us a gray background. So if we look at this, didn't mean to run two of them. We now have a little gray background. Of course, that's a bit off. Let me just do 115.35. Actually, I do want to keep it like that. So maybe I just do plus 15 plus 35. Alright. So now if we go ahead and I want to draw like 4 little squares first, and these are going to be the colors of whatever Simon are. Let me look at my watch here because I have a Simon game on my watch, and the colors are green, red, orange, blue, from top left to lower right. So let's do g.setColor, color.green, and then we can do red, orange, and blue. Red, orange, and then blue. And then we're gonna render the little rectangles. So we're just gonna do fill rect 0, 0. Actually, yeah, this one's gonna be 0, 0, and then it's gonna be width divided by 2, and then height divided by 2. And then that one's gonna be like, this one's going to be width divided by 2. It's gonna start at width divided by 2, but it still is gonna be the size of width divided by 2. And this one's going to be width or 0, and then height divided by 2. So replace that with height, and then this one's gonna be that and height divided by 2. So let's go ahead and put these in their spots like that. I'm gonna space this out a little bit, just so it's not so clumped. And now we have a little bit of a Windows sign here. Apparently, it seems to not matter. I think it might be just in the way I type it out. Maybe because I'm setting the size first before I set it divisible, it actually fits properly, which is good to know. But I don't know, I feel like this one's smaller than this one. I don't know. It could just be me. Alright, here, let me just see if I do set resizable to true. And then bring it down. Yeah, see? It's a bit off, which is a bit weird. Maybe if I set resizable to false right before everything and then set the size. No, still the same. So it's like plus 10, plus 20. We'll just try this until we get it to look right. As soon as we see a little bit of gray, which I think I do see there, let's do plus 15. Maybe 2020. That's width. I'm trying to do height. 20, 30. Okay, so I see a little bit of gray at the bottom, a little bit of gray at the right, so we'll just stick with that. Actually, let me just make sure first. So the height still can be adjusted a little bit. So maybe 1540. Just a little bit off. 38. Looks good. Alright, so we actually have our rectangles all fit. So when I mentioned earlier, we're going to be kind of doing programming concepts here, or game design concepts. You need to like think of it, this part here, as just kind of just a little background. Because what we're going to do, I'll open up Paint here, and I'm going to take, let's just see, I'll just take a screenshot of this real fast. So I'll just copy and paste this. So this is pretty much just going to be our background here. We're going to expand the canvas, because why not? And then we're pretty much just going to draw a circle on top of this. So let's go ahead and put that in a circle. We're just going to draw a giant circle on top of this. And then also like have that filled in. I think I might make it gray though. So just like that. And then we're going to have a little rounded rectangle inside of it. So it's going to be like this. And then we're going to put just a rectangle right through it. Of course, this is just going to be like a little rough thing right here. Something like this. Actually, that's definitely a bit off. The rectangle right here will be way more rounded. It'll be like this, more or less. and just give it like a nice little effect. So now we're gonna have to first off add the circle around it. So we need to actually make it add a stroke. So let's go ahead and we'll remove this. Actually, I'll just copy that. We'll move this down here. This is gonna be like one of the last things to be rendered, and we're gonna do set stroke. This is why we're using graphics 2D. It's because we need to have a stroke, and we're gonna do new basic stroke, and then we're gonna set the size to, I'm guessing like something about 200. And then next we're gonna draw an oval. So there's no circles, it's just ovals, pretty much the same thing, but it's just more even, of course. Squares are a bit messed up there. So we're gonna do -100, -100. We'll adjust this if we see fit. Plus 200, and then height plus 200. And there we go. Actually worked pretty much perfect. We see like it's a bit like messed up at the top. So because it is graphics, we can do g.set rendering hints. I don't know, is this graphics 2D or just graphics? I don't know. Key dot anti. Oh yeah, I think it's like, hold on, how do I do this again? Oh yeah, rendering hints dot key anti-aliasing, and then rendering hints dot value anti-aliasing off, or on rather. And as you can see now, it's smoothed around the edges. That's what anti-aliasing does for you. You can actually throw this all the way at the top here, just so it anti-aliases everything that we put in there, and it just provides more smooth edges, and it's a lot nicer than what other results would give us. So we can go with just this pretty much, but I want to make it a little bit more nice. So let's go ahead and do, I think we're just gonna try, let's add a little outline. So we're gonna put the outline right after the actual outline of the actual thing that makes this look like a circle. We're just gonna put an outline around the entire circle though. So we're gonna do g.stroke, new basic stroke, and then we're gonna do about 10, and we should just be able to just draw an oval that just has 0, 0, and of width and height. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, that's good. This end looks to be a bit off. It should be like more like this. I don't know. Maybe I should have it be a little bit bigger. Who knows? Alright, anyways. That should be, apparently I removed g.set or frame.reset resizable. So let's add that back in there. I actually changed it to false. And then the next thing we want to do is, I guess we can add that center part like I was talking about. So g.set color.black, and then we're going to use a function in here, fill round rect. And I'm going to look at this notepad that I have open over here, because I already have, like I said before, I've already programmed this a little bit, and these are the parameters I put in for that. So there we go, we have that little round rect in the center, which actually makes it look really nice. And then we're going to try to get, I think it's a little bit off-centered possibly. I don't know. I can't tell. I was showing my friend Steve this yesterday when I was working on it, and he was like, dude, that's not right. There's something wrong there. I'm like, what? Really? I didn't believe him, but maybe he's right. Alright, I'm gonna adjust that a little bit, just a small bit. maybe I should do 30 and then 10, and then just have it be in the black like that. That looks a bit better. 25, 20. I'm doing height again. Keep getting them mixed up somehow. So 5. Okay, 8. There you go. And then add, I'm just gonna put 5 and then just be done with that. Okay, so now we're gonna have the rectangles that we also said we're gonna add. So g.fill rect, and I think like width divided by 2. So we're gonna do the vertical one first. Minus, wait, actually we have to do the size, I think was like divided by 12. So over here we have to subtract this by width divided by 12 too. Or no, this is 7, and this is just height. And then here we have, I think we do 0, and then we flip these, and then we play and see if it works. Yeah, there we go. It looks centered to me. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's off. For people who have OCD, I apologize. If you want to go ahead and change it for yourself and actually make it look better, feel free, by all means. My source is always public down at the bottom of the screen, so if you ever want to do that, feel free to. So yeah, it looks pretty well. I want to make it have all these flash, so let's go ahead and do darker to all these guys, and then let's look back and see what it looks like. Okay, so as you can see, they're kind of like in a darkened state right now, and we want to do, let's do public int flashed equals 0, and then we want this to be like, if flashed is 1, then we want, is that not an int? I keep doing that. I keep forgetting to actually give it what the variable is. So if flash is 1, then we want it to be green, else set it to that darker. If I can move this into the proper state. I'm a bit tired, even though I am drinking Red Bull. I don't get it. And we're going to do the same for here, but for red. And then we want that to be colored 2. So if flash is 2, okay, and then if flash is orange, or 3, orange, so if it's 3, and then if it's blue, or 4, pretty much, then blue will be lighter. So we want to implement a mouse listener, because we want to be able to click on one of these. So we'll have to implement it first, and then do frame.add mouse listener this, and then add the unimplemented methods. And then we want to do it on mouse pressed. So let's go ahead and bring this to the top. Alright, so the nice thing about having these guys here is that we can just go like this, and then actually, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and copy this, copy these all, and then we're going to bring these down here, and then comment them out, and then remove the lines. So all we have to do is that we're going to make 2 ints. It's just going to be x is going to equal to e.getX, and then y is going to equal to e.getY. These are the coordinates of the mouse. So if x is greater than 0 and x is less than width divided by 2, and y is greater than 0, and y is less than height divided by 2, then color or pressed, no, light, no, what was it, flashed equals 1. And then we're gonna do else if x is greater than width divided by 2, and x is less than width, and y is greater than 0, and y is less than height divided by 2. So now we got all those. And now another else if x is greater than 0, and x is less than width divided by 2, and y is greater than height divided by 2, and y is less than height. Else if x is greater than width divided by 2, and then x is less than width, and y is greater than height divided by 2, and y is less than height. Flashed equals 4. If I can spell flashed, 4, 3, and then 2. So these guys are just pretty much just the Boolean algebra for which rectangle collides with the mouse point. So if we go ahead and look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now when we click on them, we can see them flash up. Of course, you can click on them in the center as well, which is fine. I don't really mind that, because technically they are still rectangles in a way. But we just have like this little overlay, and it gives them the effect of like a little Simon paddle. So that's good and all, but we want them to light up instead of just glowing just like that. So what we're gonna do, first off, we're gonna remove this because we don't need this anymore. So we're gonna create a integer and then say glow time, I guess. And then whenever one is clicked, glow time is gonna be like 5. Actually, we're just gonna do 1. Technically, we could turn it into a Boolean now, but we're also gonna need ticks. And then in action before, we're going to do ticks plus plus. And then if ticks remainder 20 is equal to 0, so this is like every second, glow time equals 0. If, actually, we might want to do glow time just minus minus. And if glow time is less than or equal to 0, flashed equals 0. And then we're going to click that. As you can see, sometimes it stays on longer than the others. So that means we're going to have to make it to where ticks is equal to 0 or equal to 1. Every time, and then we're just going to remove glow time actually. Alright, I'm going to scroll up. My mouse wheel's a bit broken, so that's why I have to highlight everything to scroll up. It all makes sense now. We'll just do that. So they all stay on for the same amount of time now. Cool. Alright, so yeah, that's all good and dandy. We have like a little flashing paddle here, but we need them to be able to like, I can kind of see how this is off centered. This is a bit higher. But we need them to have to go along to a set pattern. So let's go ahead and first off put a Boolean in, and then we're gonna do like creating pattern. Okay, and then this is as far as I got last time, by the way, so everything here is coming right off the top of my head. Starting or creating pattern. So if it's not creating pattern, so we have to put an exclamation mark right here, then we're going to have it not be able to make these flashed. But we're gonna go ahead and do public array list integer pattern, and then up here we're just gonna create the start method. So public void start, and then import array list plus. Thank you. Pattern equals new array list integer, and then we want to say we want it to have like, alright, so we need to know how many have been like chosen, I guess. Alright, so let's do pattern size. No, we already have that technically, because that's gonna be in the array list. So let's do, actually let's go ahead and do like repeated pattern, and this will be the index of like, actually index pattern. So this will be the index of like when you repeat it. So when you click on, let's say it flashes green, then it will when you click on green, it'll like know that you're now on the second part of the pattern. So let's go ahead and do so we want to go ahead and make it repeat the pattern. So if creating pattern flashed equals, let's go ahead and come into here, public random, and then we're gonna put it in here, random equals new random, and then up here we need to make sure to have that start guy being called. If creating pattern flashed is gonna be random dot next int 4 or 3 plus 1. Actually, I like 3 plus 1. It looks better. And then we're gonna do pattern dot add flashed. So, and then we're gonna have creating pattern start out to be true. So when we start the game, it's just gonna go and it's just gonna make these guys flash. So it's pretty cool. Apparently it keeps doing like yellow. So we need to make sure that there's like a little cooldown. So if creating pattern and ticks percent 10 or 20 equals 10 or like 5. So there's like a little bit of a gap maybe. Oh yeah, right, that doesn't work out. 10 equals 0. No. We need to figure out a way to actually have it to where it like flashes, but it goes dark for a second. So flash equals if create pattern else. Do flash equals -1 over here maybe, or I'm gonna do flash equals 0, And then, it's actually kind of tricky. Alright, this will be easy actually. Dark. If ticks or dark equals 5. Dark minus minus. Actually, I'll do like 2. So once dark is 0, then it will go to the next one. And dark is equal to 0, or less than or equal to 0. Try that. Bam. Perfect. So the main reason we had to do that, because if it repeats it like it just did on the red, you need to be able to notice it. Okay, he just did 4 red in a row. Wow. Alright. So, now let's go ahead and we could actually give it a bit more of a random thing. I think if we do, I'm going to try this real fast. I'm going to do like 40% 4. And then just see what that does. Yeah, I think that made it a bit more random. So we're going to go with that. Because now, as you can see, it's made it more rare to have things repeat. Things still can repeat, but not like they were before, because red went like 3 times in a row at one point. And it just did it. Okay, screw you. Oh, God. Alright. So, now, we need to do... We need to have it be... Let's go ahead and do, like, creating pattern equals false. So we need to actually make it repeat it first. So let's go ahead and do if creating pattern, we're actually going to do, I'm going to put this right here. If that so if that and we need to know that it's actually shown them all. So we're actually gonna use this index pattern guy, and then index pattern is equal to pattern dot size. Creating pattern is equal to false. Actually, this is gonna be over here. So if that happens, then it's gonna add a new one. Else, so I want to make sure that this happens on a different tick by adding that else there. Flashed equals pattern dot get index pattern. So flash is going to equal to the current index, and then index pattern plus plus, and then dark equals 2. We can just put this out here. So red, and then once I repeat red, I'm going to have it call that again. So let's do, once I click, over here I can just do if flashed is not equal to 0 and it's not creating a pattern, then if index pattern, or I'm going to do if pattern dot get index pattern is equal to flashed index pattern plus plus, and then that should be good. And then creating pattern equals true. So if index pattern is equal to pattern dot size, creating pattern equals true, index pattern equals 0, else just add 1 to index pattern. So yellow, oh, it crashed. Index out of bounds exception. Where's this gonna be at? It's not showing me. Sign. Oh, here it is. Get right. So we need to make sure that this is 0 at first, because it's from that. So once we click, if it's not creating pattern, index pattern is equal to 0, or actually, once it adds 1, then index pattern's gonna be 0. So yellow, and it crashes again. Same error, same spot too. I think, what could be causing this? Let's go ahead and, first off, I want to make sure dark is equal to 2 here. Let's go ahead and do that real fast. See if that actually changes it. No, didn't think so. Simon, if the size is 1, so index pattern, so if it's that, oh. So we're gonna do if index pattern is equal to that, else maybe green, there we go, green, blue. Now it should repeat it. Did it do something else? Green, blue, yellow, green, blue, yellow. I think I have to do is equal to that minus 1. So I'm just gonna do greater than equal to, just in case. So green, green, I'm so confused. Hold on, that looked really weird. Green, red. So why is it adding 3? Green. No. That's wrong then. So let's just do that. For some reason it's adding 3 of them at first. So yeah, I'm just gonna throw a greater than or equal to signs right there, just in case. So blue, yellow, just gonna click the yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, yellow, blue, red, blue, yellow, blue, red. And for some reason sometimes it's like I have to click an extra one, like what? It's being weird, I can tell you that much. Might have done something wrong. Blue, maybe putting dark 2 there, green, or red, what? Red, yellow, red, yellow, red, red, yellow, green, red, red, yellow, green. Alright, so maybe it's because else I'm just gonna put this else that, and then grab this and plop it right here. And just in case, I'm gonna go ahead and come over here and do dark is 0, blue, 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 red, blue, red. Oh, maybe because it's, oh, that's dumb on my part. I see what I did. So I want to do this right over here. So let's just come over here and just see. So if flash is not equal to 0 and all that. So red, red. That won't work. Lol. I'm gonna do flashed equals 0. Oh. So if flash is not equal to 0 and it's not creating a pattern. Okay. Yellow, yellow. Something's not right now. Flashed equals 0 if creating pattern. If just do this. If dark is greater than 0, yellow. Okay, so now I should check if it's that's -1. Green. Green. I think green, red. Green. 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 Blue. Green. Green. Blue. It's still making me do more than... What? I don't understand that. That's so weird. Alright, Alright, so if it's creating pattern, if dark is less than or equal to 0, it'll wait for that. If the index pattern is greater or equal to pattern at size, let me try -1. Green, green, red, green, red. I saw yellow there. Green, red, yellow. Green, red, green. Oh, because that means I messed it up. So yellow, yellow, red, yellow, red. What up? That means I do have to get rid of that. And then I have to get rid of this one here too. So blue, blue. I think I might have missed it. So dark is equal to, oh, let me do dark is equal to 2. So then that means it'll wait. So blue. Creating pattern is true, index pattern is equal to 0. Alright, it's greater than or equal to pattern at size. Else flashed is equal to pattern. is equal to 2. That's already right there. Oh, that's because I need to do so I need to move that and then do up here else. And right here I can just take this. Alright. So now that should work. So blue, blue, oh. RIP. Okay, so else if index pattern is greater than or equal to pattern as size. If oh so now that actually does mean I do need that there. GG. Alright, green, so let's hit green, green red, green red, green red red. Oh, now it's like if it's greater than or equal to. No, let me just do greater than maybe. Huh? Red, red. I'm very confused by this. It's very strange. Alright, so red, or green rather. Green, green, red. Green, red. Next pattern -1 maybe. Green, green. Okay. So I think I need to actually take that away. So red, 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 green, red, green. There we go. Red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, blue, red, green, blue, blue, red, green, blue, blue, green, red, green, blue, blue, green, red, green, blue, blue, green, yellow, red, green, blue, blue, green, yellow. Alright, cool. So it's looking like it's working. Good thing. And in the center, I want to go ahead and show what the index is. So let's go ahead and do g.set font, new font, and Arial size 12, and then we're gonna actually tile 12 to size 12, and then g.draw string, and that's gonna be just a slash width divided by 2 minus 100, and then height divided by 2 minus 12. I'm obviously gonna change that. Just trying to see what I can make work. Let me do it's index pattern plus that plus pattern dot size. So oh yeah, I need to set the color. Set color. Color dot white. So that's 0 of 1. I want it to be 1 then. Alright, and then size 42. 142. Bam. Pretty good. And then minus 142. Or just that. Plus 10. Plus 50. Plus 42. There we go. So now we missed that. So open it, red, 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 blue, red, red, blue, green, red, 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 blue, green, red, red. All right. So else, we'll have to throw an else statement in right here. So else, yeah, we don't need, and then not creating pattern. And also we might just want to do this in here. If else start game over true, and then create field game over, and then actually I'm not gonna do start right here. Where's this at? If game over because there's a smile or a friendly face on the watch game, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. So yellow, sad face. And once you oh yeah, over here I want to make sure and not game over else if game over start game over equals false. Blue, green, or red. Now if you click it again, red, red, blue, red, blue, green. I think I want to do +1 right here. Yeah. Oh. Right, I have to put parentheses around that. Green. No. Weird. I don't exactly know how I want to fix that, but it's fine. Whatever. Green, 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 yellow, green, green, yellow, green, green, yellow, yellow, green, green, yellow, yellow, green, green, yellow, yellow, red, green, green, yellow, yellow, red. So yeah, Simon, it's done. Under an hour. Pretty cool. If you have any questions about this, guys, just let me know in the comment section below. I just crashed the game. That's because I need to make sure index size is set to 0 over here. So index is 0. What else do we need to make sure? 0. Dark is equal to 2. Flashed is equal to 0. And then ticks is equal to 0. That should work. So if I just keep messing this up. Yep. So it seems as if you can not trash the game now. And yeah, so if you want to make sure the game is OCD proof, feel free to do that. I may have failed or not to. I may have failed or not to. I may have failed or not to actually make it OCD proof, but who knows. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to download my version of Simon, down in the description below, feel free to. And if you have any suggestions for a game that you want me to make, I will be uploading a video of 2048 when I reach around 2048 subscribers. I felt like that was appropriate. I haven't finished the video yet. I have to actually redo it, like I'm redoing this one as well. But I'm gonna go edit this now. So thanks you guys for watching, and hopefully you'll subscribe and stick around for more.